to the box. Box, let's work. Box. Oh no. The box is like, nope. Moji J, what do you want? Wait, are you playing the intro? What are we doing? It does work. Abby was just on. Alright, thank you. I almost ended my stream. More, let's try again.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Here's more Miserable, everybody.
More.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
How's everybody doing? Oh, thank you.
I'm doing fantastic. So why don't you introduce yourself for anybody who doesn't know who you are?
Everybody should know More Miserable at this point. My name is More Miserable. I like streaming stuff. Yeah, I'm a top streamer here on the app. I do a show called Pet Profiles and another show called The Forgiveness Project. And I have a new show coming up in a few weeks called Forgiveness Culture, which is the new rebranding of Forgiveness Project. So lots of stuff, but we're all consolidating it in 2022.
Yes, definitely. So now, your first song is Forever and Ever, Etc. by David Crowder Band. So I'm going to play a little clip and then you can tell your story.
Okay.
All right, we'll stop there.
Whoops. I'm back.
All right, so why don't you tell us?
If you're really Dizzy, Emoji J, I expect some big gifts because Dizzy is a big gifter. So I expect some hella big gifts if you're Dizzy, you know?
So
Wouldn't that be something? Emoji J like low key won the lottery and he's Dizzy on a second account. Let me find out, Emoji J. Yeah, so that song, it's a song that I heard for the first time when I was in college, and it's basically about God's love. And the chorus, you know, it says, "I'm finding everything I'll ever need. By giving up, I'm gaining everything. I'm falling for you for eternity, right here at your feet where I want to be." Ooh, look, a sun. So I think that kind of describes, another sun. I think that describes kind of, in a very simplified form, I get my relationship with God. You know, I'm someone who's been through a lot more traumas than the average person who's 35 probably should have. But I find my strength, and I find my direction, and I find my hope in God. And so I find that the more that I give up to Him, the more I gain, and the more I try to do for myself and try to figure everything out on my own, the more I kind of get off track. So for me, that song is it's basically a very simple, a very fun, upbeat kind of song about God's love and how we have it forever, and how by surrendering to Him, we inherit is more than we could ever want.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely a great message and a great song for that.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
So now, your second song is Broken by Lifehouse. So let's play a little bit clip of this.
The broken clock is a comfort. It helps me sleep tonight. Maybe it can't stop tomorrow from stealing all my time. And I am here still waiting, though I still have my doubts. I am damaged, like you've already figured out. I'm falling apart, I'm barely breathing, with a broken heart that's still bleeding. In the pain, there is healing in your name. That finds meaning, so I'm holding on, holding on, holding on, barely holding on to you. Broken lives were born.
We'll stop there.
And
So
Justin, you
tell
find
us
it?
about the song and how it connects to you.
Yes, it's such a beautiful song. First of all, I mean, golly,
is.
such a beautiful song by Lifehouse. I like the radio version a little bit better because it's got that electric guitar and that kind of riff in the background to give it that extra emphasis. Although the acoustic version is definitely beautiful. You know, I had a really, really, like I said, I've probably gone through more traumas than someone who's 35 should. And you know, I don't really open up about it a lot just because as public as I am on the app and as much information I give about myself, there are some things I like to keep a little bit private. But when I was young, I struggled with various types of abuse. I was bullied significantly when I was younger. Just had a lot of different, I'm not going to go through all of them, a lot of different childhood traumas. And there was even a point where I even questioned my will to live right before my teenage years. Finding my faith and finding something to get me through those times was something that was a real godsend, and like literally. But before I found my faith, I didn't really have that, and I had to kind of navigate that depression and a lot of those traumas on my own. And once I found faith, and it gave me that renewed strength, and it gave me a purpose, and it gave me ambition, and it gave me that desire not to only fight for myself, but to fight for others and dedicate my life to serving others and making the world a better place. But it's the song is maybe at this present moment it does. It does always reflect my attitude, because I'm generally a very happy person, and there's not, I would say, a lot of current trauma in my life up until maybe a few weeks ago, but we're not going to get into that today. But I mean, generally over the past, 10, 15, even, geez, how old am I now? 35. Oh, Jesus. 20 years now. I mean, I've definitely had a very blessed life, and not too many significant conflicts, maybe this recent year notwithstanding. So I think really, even though that may not be a life song for me on a day-to-day basis, I mean, there are moments like, now, and if I'm going through some rough time, that song really connects with me and lets me know that, I mean, sometimes, you feel like you're going through it, and that there's nothing you can hold on to except for your faith. And as a person of faith, and I'm not dogging anybody who is not religious or doesn't have that, maybe something to hold on to you is your family or your friends or your career or something that, but it's all, for me, it's always been my faith, at least since I was about 12 or 13 when I found it. And it's gotten me through some really dark moments. It still gets me through some dark moments, and it lets me know that no matter how bad it is, I always have a direction to go. I always have a purpose to go to, and I always have grace, even when even when the world doesn't give us grace, right? Even when the people that we love don't give us grace, or our bosses don't give us grace, or sometimes even our friends and family don't give us grace, that I always have that grace through him, and that's always gotten me through even the darkest of times.
Yeah, definitely. And like when I was on your show last night, like it brings me back to the conversation like when I was talking about like you really have to like advocate for yourself and like take care of yourself and self-care.
And
And
it's so important that you do that, because I think as someone who's a natural servant and a giver by nature, especially, which is only accentuated through my faith, it's sometimes easy to forget about ourselves. At least for me, it's very easy to forget about myself, because I get so wrapped up in loving others. But it's like I said, and I can say this because it's not featured content, I can say the F word, but I put a quote up on my Facebook a few days ago. I said, if I fought for myself the way I fought for others, man, I'd rule the fucking world. So, it's good to be a giver, but it's also good to make sure you're taking care of yourself as well.
yeah, definitely.
That's right, Sid, rule the fucking world.
All right. So before I let you go, does anybody have any questions for Moore about his song choices or anything he talked about? Again, this is Rewind. This is a show I do every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We had Abby on earlier with her songs, which were phenomenal. Now we have Moore in the box, who just shared his songs, which were beautiful. So we have two questions. Gentle says, do you think about the song frequently to help you in your life?
That is such a great question, Gentle. So, Gentle, this song is usually a song that gets me through rough times. And I'm not going to lie to you, over the past 15, 20 years, my life has been very blessed for the most part. So it's really in those moments where I don't have a lot of moments where I feel like are super, super dark anymore, like, thank goodness. So I do think of that song when I am in those moments. I will say that, and I'm not going to get into this, of course, but recently I've gone through a trauma, or a minor trauma in my life, although it feels major at times. And so this is definitely a song I've been listening to a little bit more recently to help me through that. But it strengthens me for sure, because I know that I can hold on to that faith, and it will get me through. But normally it's a beautiful song. I have it on my playlist. It's not something I probably jam out to every day, but in moments of hardship and struggle, like, maybe now a little bit, although I'll get out of it for sure in time. Or, maybe when my sister was a little bit sick a couple years ago, it definitely does, but not on the daily, generally, Gentle, because I like to say I live a pretty blessed life. And how do I keep a positive mindset in times when you feel defeated? It's tough, Sid, because I'm one of those people who, when I feel something, I have to feel it in its full form. I can't just kind of distract myself. It's very hard for me to distract myself or do something else. I just almost have to saturate myself and just feel it and completely just to move on from it. Almost intentionally think about it, intentionally put myself. I know it sounds weird, but like if I'm going through something like the loss of a loved one or a breakup or something, I almost have to like completely saturate myself in it just so I can move through it. But you know, I think to keep a positive mindset, like I said, it's I always go to my faith. I go to my family and my friends. You know, I stay in prayer. I always have something to look forward to, and I think that's really, really important. Even if it's something simple as I'm meeting a friend on Friday, or I have a concert next week, or you know, The Matrix 4 is coming out in December. Have something to look forward to in your life, so it's not like I have no reason to get up. Does music help calm my storm? It definitely helps me. I've got about 17. I know, right? Nice to have a full schedule, right? So does music help me calm down during the storm? I think it does. It helps me feel it and get through it, because I'm one of those people, if I don't feel every ounce of that hard time or even good time, if I don't feel every ounce of it, I can't move past it. So yeah, it does definitely help me. It helps me connect and move on.
Yeah, I feel like music is just like a universal connection for everybody, like
Yeah, for
in
sure.
some form of way.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, is there any final words you would like to say before?
Well, yeah, guys, like again, I think most of you guys in here know me. Just a reminder, guys, January 5th, we debut Forgiveness Culture, which is going to be a rebranding of the Forgiveness Project. And I'm really excited. We just got, I just sent our next guest, I just sent him all the assets and materials for that. So we should be good to go. But y'all make sure to tune in Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. And yeah. And we'll keep doing pet profiles to the end of the year. It's not dead yet. Pet profiles isn't dead yet. So thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Kim.
Bye. All right, guys. That was More. We just heard his songs. They're great songs. And then we had Abby earlier sharing her songs. This is Rewind. This is a show I do every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I bring on 3 guests, and they share stories that impact them through songs. And tonight it's a special edition of where I have decided to bring on 3 guests who are close to me, who have been family to me on this app. So we are gonna bring on our last guest of the night. We are gonna bring on Chris Casper. So
how's it going? Doing pretty well.
you weren't kidding.
We're at the card shop right now. I'm currently undefeated, and so I'm actually between rounds. I was able to clean up and get my last win in 2 matches. So we're getting right through it. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yes, thank you for being here. So for anybody who doesn't know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Chris Casper. I'm a big nerd, so I like gaming, and this is a bunch of. I wish I had my thing a little more level. There we go. Anyway, there's a ton of anime here, by the way. There's trading cards. There's someone actually Scotty's over on camera right now. They're live streaming Scotty because he's got a pretty nice record right now too. Oh God, no. So anyway, we'll just hold that. We'll just hold it now. But yeah, I've been a streamer since 2018, September 20th, 2018. Please excuse me while I set back up my stand that fell. And I just love the live community. So that's my introduction.
Cheers.
And
So now we'll get into your first song, which is "Rollin'" by Limp Bizkit.
Yes, it is. So my first song is "Rollin'" by Limp Bizkit. Do you have any specific questions about it, or do you just want me to talk about the song?
Talk about the song. What does it mean to you?
So what does "Rollin'" mean to me? So Limp Bizkit is like a tangible idea of what my childhood was, not like what they talk about, but Limp Bizkit was one of the number one groups that I listened to growing up. And I'll never forget the first time I heard Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavored Water, which is the album that Limp Bizkit put that song out on. I went to Blockbuster Video, I think it was, and I picked up a couple packs of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I got a first edition Genzo out of it. It's just like such a clear-cut memory. But I was maybe 8 years old when that album dropped. I can do almost every single song on the album word for word, but probably my favorite song on the album had to have been "Rollin'." And if anyone's ever like not heard that song and you want to get pumped up, that's a good track. I think Limp Bizkit gets a lot of hate, a lot like Insane Clown Posse does. I don't think they're the same breed, but they kind of get lumped into the same type of category of music. They just dropped a new album, by the way. It's called Still Sucks. So it's Limp Bizkit Still Sucks. And it's pretty good. It's got a couple good tracks. It's got dad vibes on it. You may have seen Fred Durst out at Lollapalooza with the rose glasses. And he had some dad jeans and some New Balances on. It was great.
Yeah. So do you have any is there so now this album was like one of those first albums for you that really provided you with that really hit home for you?
I don't know if it was the first album that really hit home for me, but it was the album that stuck with me. I mean, I was maybe 8 years old when that album dropped, and the first song on the album is called Hot Dog, and he says the F word, I think sometimes in it. And I just remember being a kid ooh, this is bad, but no, I mean, it's like a cool infusion. It's called nu metal. And it's a mix between heavy metal and rap. It just, I don't know, just as a kid, I just remember jiving and grooving, and the songs are very bouncy and very boppy. I grew up in a very diverse household. If you don't know, I'm half Mexican. My dad played a lot of Tejano music, but he also played a lot of gangster rap and a lot of rock music. And then my mom and him also listened to a lot of pop music, and so we'd have the pop stations playing. And then on top of that, I had my grandparents. So I got a lot of 60s soul, a lot of 60s Motown influence. And it really started to shape my interest to have a very wide palette, where a lot of people, will say I listen to a lot of music. I was exposed to a lot of music from a very early age. So because of that, I think I just developed a wide palette for music.
Sure. Definitely.
I'm about to cut you off, but I just had almost a shower thought. I'm not in the shower. I'm currently in Weebly. But I think a lot of times people connect to or resonate with certain genres because it can relate to something that they liked to maybe growing up. And for me, because I had so much exposure to different music growing up, I'm able to relate and dive into a lot of different music. But anyway, I'm gonna go way off the rails here. So whatever the next one.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into your second song, which is "Around the World" by Daft Punk. So
yeah.
What does that song mean to you? And
that was even before Limp Bizkit. I remember where I was the first time I heard it. We were pulling out of my grandparents' driveway. It was on 104.5 SNX. Fun story, Chalk used to be a DJ on that radio station. It was the pop radio station. And you got to remember, on 104.5 at that time, they were playing stuff like TLC and Biggie and Tupac. They were playing Aaliyah. They were playing that kind of stuff back then on the pop station. And then so for like Around the World to come on, for those of you who don't know who Daft Punk is, it's very it's original house music that was here. I mean, Daft Punk is a French duo from France, and they produce house music. You're gonna have people walking in the background here. Round's almost up. But I remember sitting in the car and it was like unlike anything I had heard. You know, there weren't many words. There was just Around the World. It just keeps repeating that. But then it went through a progression. And yeah, it's a French duo from France. It's a French duo, which they recently announced that they were done. They announced it this year. So Daft Punk broke up this year. It was a very emotional thing for me because on my bucket list was to see them live, and I've never seen them live. And it was a very emotional thing for me to hear that they broke up or that they're no longer active. But I would not be surprised if someday they came back. The only problem is I think it'll be a surprise if they do it, and then I won't, you know, be able to like plan seeing it.
Yeah.
The last music that they put out was the Tron soundtrack, and prior to that was RAM, Random Access Memories, and that was in 2013.
Yeah. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions for Chris before we let him go?
Sorry, I like really bulldozed through that conversation.
No, it's okay.
I'm like the worst type of person to interview because I'm just gonna try and direct the conversation. This is my favorite Pokemon. Oh my! You guys want to see some Pokemon cards? I'm gonna show like a literal card. Let me see if I turn this around real quick. If I were to like pop that off, you would see. So we got Noah, right, and then we got stuff over there. So it's pretty sick. It is a real question. Oh, picking a favorite Pokemon is really tough. I would have to say my favorite. Oh yeah, you go. I don't know that I have a favorite Pokemon. That's a really tough choice. Scott, what's your favorite Pokemon? What's your favorite Pokemon? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna pick Scott's. His is Cyndaquil, so that's my answer. All right, you got another question? Chris, what are the songs you listen to when you want to focus on growth or any new challenge? Ooh, I have playlists made for that. There's a couple artists that I listen to specifically. It depends on my mood. It really depends on how sad I'm trying to get. If I want to focus, I usually put on EDM, like a lot of drum and bass. Stuff with words gets tough for me because I want to sing along with it. I play there's like some reggae stuff that I like too. That's just like kind of like happy poppy vibes. But it can't be anything like that I'm like too into. Otherwise, I'll want to jam. And if I want to jam, then I'm not gonna get anything done.
Yeah. So Abby says, Chris, did you know you're an icon?
Abby said that. Abby's the real icon. That's all. She's projecting right now, and I don't appreciate her projecting.
All right. Well, any more question, guys? Otherwise, we're gonna let Chris go and enjoy his.
You want to see the shop?
Sure.
Y'all want to trip of the shop real quick? All right, let's take a shot. So hang on, I gotta. All right, so there's this pretty sick Gundam right here. Right, and like to give you an idea, I mean, this is my hand. But to give you an idea how big it is, we got a wall of like things. These are tables where we'll like play our matches. So today's tournament, this is a Harley Quinn statue. They've got a really sweet Batman one. I'll have to show you. Hang on, I gotta pack up my little stand thing, so that way it's not out here to get stolen. But yeah, I'll show you like a wall of Pokemon stuff. Hold on. Worst guess North America. All right, I'll show you real quick. So then we got Pokemans over here. You got like the little Pokemons. You get your Pokemon case. So it's a Pokemon card there. Then Traffic, you get Magic, you get your Magic singles, all kind of stuff. But I'll just show you the Batman stuff. There's a player tournament over here. Bunch of people still doing the card games. But then you got your Magic stuff over here. It's a really cool store, honestly. And then you got, this is the last thing I'll show you is the Batman that's over here. It's super sick. Look at this. This is for purchase. I don't think it's actually for purchase. You get like a Batman, right? And then you can play like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff if you want. They got tables for all that. So yeah, it's a pretty sweet store.
Yeah, it definitely looks pretty sweet.
So because I'm undefeated right now, I'm probably gonna lose my next match. So thanks for having me as a guest, Kim. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
For sure. I'll see y'all later. Cheers.
All right. All right, guys. That was Chris Casper. And before we go, I am going to do a little segment called On the Radar. And this is where I choose like indie artists who are on the rise, kind of. And I share a little bit about them. So this week's indie artist I chose is Reese Mastin. I was like trying to figure out who I was going to choose this week, but I woke up this morning and I saw a post online from Reese Mastin saying that it was 10 years since he won X Factor in Australia. He's from Australia, so he won X Factor in Australia in 2011, and so it's been 10 years since that. So this is like a little clip of his song called Good Night. This was his first release after his win on X Factor. And then I'll share a song of like what he's currently at since then, because he took a whole chunk from pop music and is this really great like rock and roll type of artist sounding, and it's just like, so I'm just gonna play a few clips and then it's gonna be the end of the show.
I got my t-shirt and sneakers on. No one to mess around with it. It feels so wrong. I'm gonna live it up tonight, forgetting those who dim my light. Let's go back to rock and roll when people just let go and let the music flow. I'm just looking for a good night. I'm not looking for the right time. No, I really wanna stay here right now. There's nothing left for you to scream out loud. I'm just looking for a good night.
All right. So that was his first song that he did after X Factor. This is his second song. This is his most recent song that he put out. Thank you, Gentle.
As long as I still see falling all around, drown all my sins in the river.
Got that like really classic rock vibe if you hear it.
I'm gonna go cry,
So classic rock vibe. Like if anybody brings classic rock like back to life, like Reese Mastin is the one.
You're surprised, my friend, that you just don't know who I am.
this song is called The River, and the artist is Reese Maston. Also, all of these songs, the playlist is on my Instagram. It's in a link. So all the guest songs are going to be, it's going to be on the playlist that is on the, and so if you missed any of the songs or you want to check out any of the songs that were on the show tonight, you can go check them all out. They're on the playlist that's up. And also, if anyone wants to be a guest on the show, please just send me a DM on Instagram and be like, hey, Kim, I would like to be a guest on your show. And yeah, so, and also thank you everybody for coming to the show tonight. It's been a fun time. Next week, I will be taking a week off just because I have a lot going on with school next week and school events that are going on. So I'm gonna take the week off next week, but I will be back the following week, December 6th, and it's gonna be an awesome show. So I look forward to seeing everybody there, and I'm excited and I'm happy and I can't wait. And also I want to thank everybody for coming in and tuning in tonight, and thank you for everybody who gifted. We've got we got Angel, we've got Queen Bee, we've got Sig, we've got Figure Ace, we've got Gentle, we've got Daddy Nahai, we've got Ebby, we've got More, and we've got Chris. So thank you again, everybody. And we've got Small Town. So again, thank you everybody who came and tuned in tonight and showed love. I appreciate you all, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And also, I will be back in an hour because I'm in an auction tonight. So if you guys want to come bid on me, yeah, come hang out and change my name. Yep, Vampy Auction. All right. All right, guys. Bye. Have a great